All right, so I lied. There is another step that I like to do before I start importing anything to um, Oasis Montage. And this is more because of there's a quirk or a software design that makes it kind of annoying to look at um, the data that you import. Because if you import each, um, when we'll get to this, but as you import each data set, um, for example, the Trimble data or and my sequential here, you're going to get a separate what they call line for each one of these dates. And I'll show you what I mean because once we start importing and once you start merging databases and doing that, in order to see um, all of the inputs and outputs, you have to go up here and then this is everything. And it's kind of annoying to have to click through and see what's working, what's populating, what's not giving anything, what and it's frustrating, and I don't like having to click between individual data sets in your master database. So one thing that I do to alleviate this so that I have just one clean cumulative data sheet is I went through each one of these Trimble datas and I compiled them into a master. And this, I still need to organize this a little bit better because I've been messing around with other things anyway, not important. And I've compiled them all into a single usable importable sheet, starting with the first data set that was, or data point that was collected up until the last new data point that was collected, which was right here in 269, which was collected on the 10th of July. Everything that was collected in the year 2000 by Louis and Abbott, I renumbered down to, from starting at 500 down to whatever it was, 623 or something like that. Yeah. This way, once you import this, you have one clean line, is what it's called in Oasis. It's not a sheet, it's a line. And you can see everything there. And then you can make the modifications there, and you can merge and make the edits that way. There were still some little issues that I ran into that will cover, I'm sure, once I start importing this from scratch again to show what to do and what it does. But I just wanted to show that it's easier to get all of your sequential data that would import as individual lines in your master database and compile them into, oops, I don't want the CSV. It doesn't matter. And compile them into a single sheet that has what you need. And you do the same thing with the Trimble data as well. So if I go over here to CG6, which is the gravimeter, you can see I have a master sheet right here. The nice thing about this, at least for Notepad, is that for each one that you open up, so if I go back to my documents here, it's really easy to copy and paste because each one of these will open up a new tab here. So you just work your way down and each one's going to open up. I just might as well close this. And you open up each one and it's in whatever order, and just make sure you do open them quick because 10 July snuck between these two because of the way that these are written out with numbers. Anyway, from there, you just go in, you copy and paste each one of these. This up here, these headers are the same across every single one of these. The only thing I changed between these text files from the CG6 and the master is I took out the created date, because each one of these did have a different, they have the same creation date. Well, either way, I took that out because I didn't think it was relevant. The only thing that you really need to maintain is these headers here. Yeah, so that has every single point, and you're only going to want to compile this, and I think it goes without saying, after you've parsed down the sequential data to the repeatable and usable numbers that we want. Otherwise, you're going to end up going through just lists and lists of numbers that you don't want or need, and it just feels more annoying, even though it's the same amount of stuff. Okay, I think that is all I needed to say, and that once you get everything into your master files, you're pretty much good to go and start importing into Oasis Montaj, which I will get started on making that right now.